you doing, man?
Hey, welcome to Bullshit Radio. See,
That's brilliant. Yeah.
That's the gimmick for this episode, Lewis.
Yeah, it's a radio show. Yeah, we are. What? What's the one from Family Guy? Welcome back to Weenie and the Bud. Oh God, what's the one from Parks and Rec? They've got a stupid name as well. Crazy Ira and the Douche.
And we're off to a racing start, folks.
If we did have a radio station, what would the name be?
Bullshit Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to Bullshit Radio, 93.7 FM.
Now that's what I call mediocre. Something like that. But anyway, this is a very, 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 very special episode of Shouting Into the Void. And why is it special, Lewis?
Well, not only is my amazing wife here.
Yes.
She's here. Not only is she here, this is the ultimate bullshit 2 electric Boogaloo!
Yeah. This is the 40th episode of this fucking thing. We've got...
If we get to 100 one day, it'll be time to reevaluate my life choices, I think.
That'll be like Shouting Into the Void live, where like people can
do it in like a
VoidCon.
Yeah, VoidCon.
God. Do you know what? I wouldn't be able to like sit at the panels or anything like that because I'd just be running around like laughing at people waiting in queues. Like, get up, yeah!
Oh God, we have to pull a RuPaul and be like DJing on stage and dancing and having a great time while there are like pregnant people stood outside, very sad in the cold.
Yeah.
Oh God. Have we told you the story about DragCon UK, or have I told you?
You have, yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. It was like they were like hearing cheers and music from inside. We were just sort of looking at each other, thinking we've been in this queue for an hour and a half. Oh God.
It was the fact that they oversold tickets. They sold 11,000 tickets for a venue that could hold 8,000 people.
Yeah.
So there were 3,000 people just stood outside in the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a point where optimism just goes too far, doesn't it? You know, gotta call it a day at some point. We've got 11,000 people. It's fine. It's fine. But we can only hold 8,000. Fuck it. Well, the way this is sort of going to work, I'll do a wee brief outline. We're going to talk about some bullshit. Some other people that you may or may not know will also be talking about some bullshit. Yeah, should be fun.
I'm sure it will be fun, yeah.
Yeah. So will I spin the wheel, Lewis, for the first time?
Spin that wheel.
Okay, here we go. Who's going? Is it me or is it you?
It's you.
It's me! It's me! Just as we planned.
Can't you tell here at Bullshit FM 93.8? We plan everything to meticulous details.
Cyclists. That's the topic. Cyclists.
We were incredibly close to cyclists being Chloe's topic. For a while we were chatting about it and Chloe was nearly went with cyclists.
Well, not anymore. It's mine now.
Well, what annoys you about cyclists? I want to hear all about it on Bullshit FM.
No, well, the obvious answer is that even though I don't drive, there seems to be a sort of universal hatred of cyclists when it comes to people that can drive. And
yeah,
I was gonna do a rant about that, and I was gonna say how they take up too much space in the road, and how, you know, you need to wait behind them for like 2 minutes, and then you need to sort of edge your way around them without another car coming flying towards you. And then I thought, how much balls does it take to be a cyclist? You have to go out every day to your work and know that there's an army of automobiles behind you just fucking scolding you with hatred, with utter vitriol, because you've dared to get in their way, and you're going at your pace, you're going quite slow, you know, but you're working out, you're exercising, I mean, you're doing your wee bit, and behind you are an army of evil, hateful drivers like, get your fucking way, you dick,
Yeah, but I mean, to some degree, the vitriol is deserved.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I've got to say, of people who are willing to go out and essentially be hated for the majority of the day. I think that's pretty spectacular.
Although I do suppose you have to ask yourself on some level: is it balls that's making them go out and think, yeah, you know what, I don't care if I get hated on. I can just deal with it and put it into my art. Then they go home and paint a glorious painting of a motorist that's like a troll or something. Or is it just like, no, I'm going to be a twat today, and then they just decide to like be way too far into the middle of the road, or like just turn at bad times and not pay road tax and all that sort of stuff. Which one of the two is it?
Even if it's both, it still takes cojones. I mean, because you've got most of the world against you. Do you know what I think? If you put the way to test how someone really is to put them in a car and watch them drive, because human beings turn into these monsters when they're driving. It's like just these. I've seen drivers wish death upon people for the most slightest of infractions. So someone that maybe like comes out of a street a bit too fast. And whoever's driving's like, I hope you fucking crash and burn, you fucking dick. So they're not even inconvenienced. It's just the fact that they came just tiny bit too fast. It's like, you fucking dick, die.
I kind of feel things jump in on this conversation, seeing as I'm the only one of the three of us that can actually drive. Cyclists are the biggest pain in my ass possible. And this thing about them, like, having no fear or having too much fear, you know what? They don't have fear. They act like they own the road. Because these are the same fucking arseholes who are walking around in a $6,000 Prada suit driving a blue BMW, not using their indicators, and acting like they own the road in the fucking BM as well. They think that just because they are who they are, it doesn't matter if they're in the shiny BM with, I don't know, 64,000 horsepower. It doesn't matter if they're in the BMW. They can then switch to a bike and still think that they own the fucking road, and it really pisses me off. And the thing is, I don't mind them being there, or I wouldn't so much anyway, if they paid to be on the road. You can't act like you own the road, but not pay to use it. They don't pay road tax, they don't pay insurance. Meanwhile, I'm sat here in my little Igo, paying fuck knows how much, just so that if I hit him because he's being a cunt, I don't get dragged for it.
I like that the implication of that is that you'll deliberately hit him if he's being a cunt. You cunt! And then you just swerve across the road and trying to hit him.
Who's going to fucking win, me or the cyclist?
Yeah, that's true. Unless he's got like a military-grade bike. It's like got guns on it and stuff.
I mean, I think Chloe's just proved my point there. There's an inhumane level of anger when it comes to cyclists from other drivers. Do you know what I mean? I reckon if there was like an act to be put through Parliament which says that all cyclists will be put to death, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of drivers that'll be signing that bad boy without any hesitation.
I think what it is, and this goes for what you said about the anger of if people make a small mistake, you get mad at them. I remember the first time that I was ever in a car by myself. I passed my test, I got in the car, and was like, shit, like, there's no pedals on the passenger side. This is just me now. If I fuck this up, I could kill someone. And it's that realisation that if you do make the smallest mistake, you could easily kill someone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you see someone else making a stupid mistake that they could have avoided, you sit there thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Are you aware of the fact that you could kill a person?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what pisses me off about cyclists, is that drivers, for the most part, and I'm not saying that they're all perfect because they're not, some of them are pricks, hence the BMW drivers.
Yeah.
But most drivers have this realisation. So to see a cyclist behaving in a way that is literally putting their life at danger because they're too proud and think that just because they're on a bike they own the road is frustrating. Because you're sat here thinking, I'm trying everything that I can do to not kill someone, and you're just putting yourself in danger because your ego is too big.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's so frustrating about it.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Sorry, are you aware that you're a twat?
All BMW drivers are twats.
God, can you imagine now that if we get like emails from BMW drivers saying like, "I'm a BMW driver, fuck you."
Russell's a BMW driver.
All right.
Yeah, so he'll be you'll be
He'll be
sending
us hateful
yeah,
tweets.
You'll be sending like a dead cat in a box or something like that.
On the subject of dead animals in boxes, my maths teacher, whenever we did like mechanics,
Whoa, Lewis.
Where is this going?
Lewis, if you're gonna start a new topic, I need to spin the fucking wheel, mate. We've got to make use of it somehow. It's been sat here for God knows how long. It's dusty as all hell. I think my lungs are coated now.
Right, well, spin the wheel. It's not even a good. The story isn't even that great. Right. It's not really worth telling. But go on, spin the wheel.
This entire episode is going to pay for that wheel.
Well,
probably, yeah.
I tell you something. You better make it good because this wheel's getting spun. Right, here we go. It's a short one because it's a short story. Go.
Right, right. Basically, I did A-levels. And I did in my A-levels, I did a maths one, and with my maths A-level, you have to do like normal, standard, bog standard maths, as well as like a specialised maths. And I did mechanics, which is like physics, basically.
Uh-huh.
And good God, I hated A-level maths. It was terrible, and I would not wish it upon my worst enemy. But my maths mechanics teacher, after a while, he'd be like, you know what? Fuck it, we're not going to have a box that weighs 10 kilograms. We're going to have a dead cat in a box that weighs 3 kilos or something. And he'd talk about, like, right, okay, there's a dead cat in a box on the top of the slope. It has this much weight. It's on the point of sliding. Given that G is 9.8, calculate the air resistance, or whatever it might be.
What teacher this is. You've never told me this story before, but I fucking know.
But yeah, that's how he would do it. And he just said that when he was doing his teacher training, he had to, like, come up with however many maths problems. And, like, he would, for all of them, because he knew they weren't going to go to actual children, he'd say, a dead dog in a box that weighs 15 kilos, and would send that to his tutor. Yeah.
Wow, what a legend.
See, that wasn't even that good a story, but I feel like it was worth the half spin we gave it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the first topic done. We did cyclists.
Yeah, we went from cyclists to dead animals in boxes.
Yeah. Who would like to go next?
I think spin the wheel.
Okay. Yeah, no, but it's just alright. Okay, whatever.
Hello and welcome back to Bullshit FM. Here we've got the phone ringing here. Ring. Yeah, I think this is actually Chloe Davison from the 4 O'Clock Club. I think she wants to go next.
Does she want to go? Okay, right. We'll patch her through. Okay, begin your rant. No.
One thing that can really get on my nerves is packaging, and I have multiple reasons for this. Reason number 1 is when there is too much packaging for what you've actually ordered. You know when you order something tiny online but it comes with an excessive amount of packaging? The other day I ordered a jewellery stand and it came in this huge box with loads of packaging. My cat enjoyed sitting in the box, but I didn't enjoy the fact that one box basically filled my entire recycling bin. Another thing I hate about packaging is when the packaging is disappointing. And I know you're probably thinking, how can packaging be disappointing? But hear me out. You know when you order something fragile, like a mug, it would ordinarily come wrapped in bubble wrap. Anyone telling me they don't get excited at bubble wrap is lying. There is nothing more exciting than popping all the bubbles. But recently I've noticed that companies use disappointing alternatives to bubble wrap. Sometimes they put those little air sac things in. I don't know if you know what I'm on about. They're those little plastic bags just filled with air. Granted, you can pop them, but it's nowhere near as exciting as popping bubble wrap. They kind of bang instead of pop. Then the worst replacement to bubble wrap is the type where all the bubbles are interconnected. So you just can't pop it. No matter how hard you try, the air just moves around. And then there's those weird little noodle things. I think they're called noodles anyway. You know when there's hundreds of those little squishy nugget things? If you accidentally knock over a box and it's got those little noodles in there, you better be prepared to spend ages picking them all back up again. And I always think, surely they can't actually provide very good protection to a fragile product. When I pick one up and squish it in my fingers, it's instantly flattened and doesn't bounce back. So surely, when you put a ceramic mug on them, they all just become instantly flattened and provide no protection whatsoever. All in all, I just think that companies should stick to using bubble wrap and stop putting tiny items in huge boxes.
Wow, that was
It was certainly a thorough rant, I have to say.
that was very extensive.
It was. I have done nowhere near that much preparation for my rant. I feel the need to say.
Lewis, I think you and I have crossed our wires in how this podcast is actually going to go here. I've got about maybe 3 topics written down, and I'm just going to start fucking speaking about it. Come what may. I haven't prepared anything. I'm just cyclists, restaurants.
Well, anyway, Chloe, I think the word you're looking for is packing peanuts. I think that's the phrase you're searching for there. And I do know what she means about the shit bubble wrap alternative. It is like sort of interconnected, and you have to like put it on the floor and then jump on it
Yeah.
in order to make it pop.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're made out of styrofoam, aren't they? Those wee nuggets.
Yeah,
Peanuts.
something like that.
The
Peanuts, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. I ordered like something that was, I can't remember what it was, but it was like really small, and it came in like a huge box, and it's just it's an absolute hassle getting huge big boxes and then having to shove them down your
Yeah.
your, I was going to say throat. Your I eat cardboard. No, your recycling bin, and everyone in this house has, for some reason, a lot of disposable income, and we just buy shite all the time. So there's a lot of cardboard going in there. Do you know what I mean? So we can't afford to be wasting bin space on these huge boxes that contain like a fingernail or something like that. Do you know what I
You
mean?
know what you could do?
Stop buying things.
Well, yes, but what else you could do is you could get a worm farm. Have you heard about these worm farms?
No.
It's like a zero waste thing. I learned about it from the politician. Basically, the idea is that you get like this little thing. It's about the size of like, you know, one of those like sort of, I was gonna say like beehives. There's like a little thing. It's like maybe half a meter tall or something like that. But the idea is you fill it full of earth and then put earthworms in. Well, not full of earth, like 2/3 or half full or whatever. Put earthworms in, and then put in your cardboard and shit. Then the earthworms will like chew through your cardboard and eat it and digest it, and then it'll just become soil.
Wow. I mean, that is a way to do it, but I'm not making a what's it called? A what? A worm farm?
A worm farm. I'm pretty sure you can buy them.
You can buy a worm farm?
Yeah.
We want one when we move into our new house. We want one.
Yeah, but how? I'm sorry. How much cardboard can these things digest? How big is this worm farm? Is it?
Fairly big. I think it might take them a while, but eventually they'll get through anything.
Oh, okay then. Just give them 20 years and they'll be able to eat through. But cardboard keeps coming in, so is it quick and easy to get rid of it, or am I better just shoving it in the bin, or will I wait until the earthworm, the tiniest creature, just devours an entire box?
Well, I think the idea is that you get a slightly bigger one in that case. If you've got like a steady income of like,
How big do they get?
I have no, Danny, you're, I have no idea. But like, right, we're fucking googling it then, peeps.
Wait, Lewis,
worm
you
farm.
brought this up. You should be expected to be asked.
Here we
This
go.
is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. Oh, have you heard of these worm
oh, they're
farms?
pretty big, actually. They're pretty big. They're like,
Small bin.
yeah, it's like a small bin.
They fit in the bath.
They fit in the bar. Oh no, there's one here where someone's made one out of a wheelie bin.
Wait, what?
So the idea is basically there's like a diagram here. So the idea, where's my diagram gone? Here it is. The idea is you put in like earth and worms at the bottom, and then you put in like food waste, like the top bit of a carrot that you're never going to eat, or stuff like that.
Right.
And like cardboard, things that are biodegradable, and your worms will eat them. And then all that becomes mixed together and becomes like compost that you can either put on your garden or sell on, or even just throw it on into like your hedgerows or anything that it'll do.
Right.
That's the idea. So in the bottom you take out like a bucket of compost or whatever. Then in the top you put in your latest Amazon delivery box because you've ordered a toothpick and they've sent it in a box big enough for a broom handle.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem sold on the worm
No.
farm idea.
No,
I think worm farms are a great idea.
it's the
I agree.
It's the
I don't
weirdest
think
shit.
Daniel does.
Wait, Lewis will reach out to someone who sells them, and But yeah, that was Chloe Davison's rant on packaging.
Yes, and then we moved on seamlessly to worm farms.
Incredibly tedious, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So thank you so much, Chloe.
Thank you
for doing that for us. Okay, time for another spin.
Spin that bad boy.
Okay, go, someone.
I would like to rant about people that say, "Oh no, I can't use computers," and then go on to say, "No, I've decided it's this."
Okay.
And then go on to say, "No, I'm not even going to try and learn because computers just don't agree with me." Because even if you are the least technically minded person in the world, there's a fighting chance that you're not a moron. You can. Even if it literally was just a magic box and you had no idea how it worked, literally inconceivable to you, it doesn't make any sense, completely gone from your brain, you could just memorize, or even just write down on a piece of paper, click the button that says on, and then just like, okay, move the mouse to the top left, click once, move 3 inches right, click twice, and then you can type whatever you can write these. As long as you're not a moron, these things are learnable. I know that it might be difficult and it might be daunting, but you can learn these things. They're not utterly unavailable to people. And it just frustrates me when people say, like, "Oh no, I don't do computers." It's like, well, yeah, but you could. You say that as though that's a good thing. That's not a good thing. You could learn to use a computer. You're not an idiot. You could, but you don't. But through choice, and that infuriates me.
I have a question.
Yep.
Has this whole thing just been one big elaborate setup for you to throw shade at my mother?
Are you listening?
No.
Are you listening?
Are you listening, Chloe's mum? Learn to use a computer! Fuck!
You're not a moron. You just don't want to learn.
Oh God,
Jesus
but yeah,
Christ.
that really annoys me when people are like, "Oh no, computers don't agree with me." It's like, yeah, but you're not a moron. You can write down a list of instructions like a recipe and follow it.
To be fair, she can't cook either, so.
Oh well, she can do something, I'm sure.
What if the person just doesn't like computers and just doesn't want to use them?
If you don't like it, fine. The thing that I have an issue with is people that sort of forced ignorance. It's choosing to remain ignorant and then pretending that it's like some kind of magic thing that just does things and you don't know how it works. Like, for example, I think there's this kind of like fear-mongering almost in like the sort of IT industry when people say things like you see it with these adverts for the Microsoft AI, and you have like some guy that will say, "Oh yeah, the Microsoft AI is helping to uncover ancient ruins in Athens." And you sort of think, okay, yeah, I can see how that happens. Mm-hmm. But because of the term AI means so many things, people are just like, yeah, I have no idea what is actually happening in that process. So that reinforces the idea of my laptop is just a box full of magical pixies doing something. I don't know what happens in there, but I press buttons and things happen. And that just really annoys me because, like, at the end of the day, you don't need to know how a car works to drive a car. It might help, but you don't need to.
Thing is, it's
but
also dangerous in terms of like people who don't know how computers work.
Yeah.
That was in like air quotes.
Yeah.
They're gonna fall victim to scams more easily because
that's true.
They're not like knowledgeable about this whole thing and how like the internet works.
But then, for example, like my grandma eventually, like, she stopped like reading her own post. She'd like get her post together, and whenever my dad went down, she would hand him the letters and say, "Pete, can you look at these? Like, just make sure none of them are scams. I don't sort of trust myself to sort of identify." Do you know what I mean? And like,
I mean, that's amazingly self-aware.
Yeah, but like, I just don't get why there's not this kind of melding of the technologies of like. Just, okay, well, any of these emails could be scam. I've had an email from NatWest saying it's my bank statement. Now, do I want to run the numbers, run the chance that it's some kind of a scam and they're going to try and take my data? or do I want to just wait for somebody, or do I want to try and find help from somewhere? Because there's help everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
I've been getting loads of them lately. Like I had one from British Gas saying that I've got like £11 overdue on my bill. I've never taken out a gas contract, so you know.
Yeah, I haven't even passed my driver's test, and I get
calls.
spam calls saying, "Hi, we think you've been injured in a car accident."
Yeah.
and I just
Wasn't
go,
your fault.
"That wasn't your fault." And I'm like, "Sorry, I can't drive," and then they just go silent, say, "Okay, so I'll just pass you up to my supervisor," and then put me on hold indefinitely. It's just bizarre.
I love speaking to scammers. Oh, it's so funny. I spend hours speaking to scammers and just playing along. Every question they ask me, I answer in the way that they want me to until they've invested so much time that they're finally ready to perform the sting, and then I just go, "Ha, I was talking shite. Bye."
Oh god, that reminds me of that bit from Family Guy where he says, "Oh yeah, that's what I like to do on my weekends off. I like to go into Tiffany's and pretend I'm going to buy something." And you see him talking to the clerk, and he's saying, so what time are you open till tonight? Brilliant, yes. And how many of these watches can I buy? And can I have them all individually labelled with my groomsman's initials?" And just things like that. Oh.
It's like Marie from Breaking Bad, where she goes like house sort of shopping. She looks in houses and she pretends to be like these other people, and like she steals spoons.
Oh god, yeah.
'Cause she's like a kleptomaniac, and it's like my husband is in the DEA. Oh, I thought he was an astronaut.
Oh god, but yeah, that sort of forced, deliberate ignorance is something that annoys me in everyday life in general, but specifically to do with computers.
Right.
Because people, I understand that people haven't grown up with computers, and people, it's like a scary, daunting thing. But
Jesus Christ.
like, it just annoys me.
You couldn't sound more patronising if you tried. I know it's a scary thing, these big magic boxes. I don't think people that don't know how to use computers are assuming that pixies live inside. I think they're just like, computers, I just can't be, they're just so complicated, I can't be bothered with them. I mean, I think it's more a case of laziness than, like, you know, I don't think they make a big song and dance about it. Like, oh, I don't know, they're just so scary. I think it's just, that thing's fucking, I can't be bothered with it. It's too complicated for me. Which is, like, a bit more understandable. If people were genuinely running about crying over how scary these boxes were, I could see the. But if it's just, like, you know, laziness, then I sort of get that a wee bit more.
I think I understand sort of laziness, which is also laziness on the face of it.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody did say to me, "Yeah, I just don't want to learn," I understand that it's just something that's out there, but I just don't want to. Then I can kind of respect that, because it's like, yeah, okay, you've made your decision and you've made peace with it. But it's people that sort of claim to live in this 21st century world only to be befuddled when they have an error message that says, "Please unplug CD." And they're like, "What? What? What is a CD?" And it's just like,
how do I do a CD? Well, I mean, that's a good rant. That was a good one.
Thank you. It was either that or capitalism.
Yeah, well, let's fucking be glad that you picked that one. I noticed that at the beginning. Chloe was like, "You do it." No, I'm doing this one now. I'm doing this one.
To be fair, that was something completely different as well. Like, that wasn't even capitalism that I was on about. He had a third one planned.
Oh, good. Do the other one. Don't do capitalism, Lewis. Jesus Christ. Fucking death to pigs.
Right, okay. I have another one then, if that's the case. we're doing double rant, double bill, double feature. Daniel.
Yeah.
You know how you buy food and eat food and stuff?
Yep.
You know how there's a supermarket, I'm presuming, near where you live?
Yes.
And you know how people have trolleys there?
Yep.
And you know how people take their food, they put it in the trolley, they go through the till, and they take it back to their car, they put the food and the shopping bags into the car, and then they look at the trolley, they look at the little trolley corral thing, the vestibule, then they go, "No, fuck that!" and just throw it into the car park willy-nilly, because they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Does that happen near you as well?
Yeah.
And literally, Chloe and I were sat in Tesco's car park at one point. I think we were like, I forget what it was, but we were sat there and we literally saw somebody load up their car and then just sort of push the trolley just out the way of the back of their car and then go and get in and reverse out. And I'm like, what the fuck? It infuriates me so much that literally we are employing people in the workforce just to do something that people are too lazy to do.
Welcome to retail.
I know.
Are you new here?
Yes, I am, and it just annoys me that people are just such lazy twats sometimes. It's like, no, well, that's 3 meters away. I can't be bothered. You know what? If they just pointed the trolley in the direction of the vestibule and just gave it a really hard shove, there's a fighting chance that it'd get in.
See, the problem is they don't even think about how far away it is. They don't even think. They just push it to the side. So I am done with you. Goodbye. And then they just drive off. I once seen a woman push a trolley away, but her baby was still in it. And they say, Mommy, fuck off. And then she drove off. No, I'm joking. That never happened. Well, it probably did at some point in history, but I never saw it. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I didn't see it.
Thing is, it's like when a child doesn't understand object permanence. And so that's why, like, peekaboo is a thing that kids enjoy, because they're like, you've stopped existing. I have no idea.
Where have you gone?
Where have you gone?
Where have you gone?
I have no idea that you exist anymore. And then you come back and they're like, oh, yeah, you're back. Fantastic.
I loved peekaboo.
But,
like,
you loved peekaboo.
I used to cry when I found out that they were back. I was like, oh, no! Piss off!
But instead of it being a baby and a parent or guardian or family friend or whatever, instead, it's like an actual middle-aged person who just gets that trolley and thinks, I am done with you now. You now no longer exist in my world. It's this lack of responsibility to the things you touch in your life. Wow. And I hate it so much.
I have something very similar to this that obviously I see on a daily basis, and it really pisses me off because it's this whole, it's their job, it's fine. Fuck off, is it our job? When someone goes to a fast food restaurant, eats within the restaurant, and then instead of taking their rubbish with them to put it in the bin that they walk past to leave, they just leave it on the table.
Yep.
It's the same principle.
Mm-hmm. I completely know what you mean.
I agree. When I work in the garage at the bottom of my street, like, obviously not now because the schools are closed, but we let the school kids in and they buy their lunch, and like we have a hot water machine so that they can sort of fill up their noodles with hot water. And
okay, that is smart.
Yeah, they take out these powders, like curry powder, chicken powder, and pour it in, and then they'll just leave the packets just on the counter, on the floor, and just leave it. And I'm stood there, and I'm saying, look, see if you don't pick that up, you will never be allowed in here again. And
the owner comes out and goes, Danny, stop scaring off my clientele.
I mean, no, the owner loves it. The owner's like, I don't be ruthless with those wee shits, because they'll take everything. they'll take us for fools. They'll take us for fools. So just fucking tell them. It's ridiculous. It drives me mad when someone litters and they think that they've got away with it, and they think that I haven't seen them, and then when I confront them, they just a bit shite themselves. I'm like, how you, dickhead? And they look up at me. this small child looks up at me. It's like, see if you don't pick that up, I'm going to bury you. And then the police arrive.
I know exactly what you mean.
They give me a caution.
Sort of this entitled laziness. It's like just leaving something near the bin is not the same as putting it in the bin.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Says the man that always leaves his laundry by the laundry bag and not in the laundry bag.
Oh.
To be honest with you, I don't even know where the laundry bag is at this point.
There you fucking go.
So you've got your own forced ignorance, Lewis. In the 21st century, you refuse to locate one of the mundane house objects.
I am normally the person that's like doing the laundry.
Hold on.
Oh shit!
Tell them why.
It's because you're at work, so
No.
Why?
Because if I do it, I don't do it in Lewis's way. So because it's not done in Lewis's way, it's not done properly.
Wow. So
the thing is,
Lewis is a laundry fascist.
We don't have a tumble dryer. We have one of those like clothes horses that you hang clothes on and allow them to dry with time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have one. I know what they are.
Yeah, but like the thing is, clothes need to be hung in a certain way so that they dry at a quick enough speed that they don't develop like a mildew from sitting in a hot room for 3 days.
Yeah.
And apparently I hang things up wrong. Apparently I can't hang socks properly. In my view, if it's hung up, it's going to fucking dry.
How do you hang socks properly? What
What
am
you
I
have to
doing
do
wrong?
is you have to pair the socks first. Don't ball them, just pair them. Then flatten them, and then lie them over two different rungs in the
That's
laundry
just taking
horse.
up unnecessary space.
Yeah, but we have 2 laundry
Yeah, but
horses.
they're fine over one.
Yeah.
You can fit double the amount of socks on if you just hang them over one.
Yeah, but if you hang it over 2, then it dries more quickly, so you can do more washing.
We have a shitload of socks. You're not going to run out of socks because, they're all wet. Shit, what am I going to do? We've got plenty.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only got one clothes horse, so I mean, I've got a. I can't afford to be wasting space on socks. I mean, socks are the last fucking thing that anyone's thinking about. Socks are the underclass of the washing world in my house. They might get dried. Who knows? They might get on there at some point if I can be arsed. But generally, they'll just sort of sit there and they'll dry themselves. I mean, because you just forget about the socks because they're that insignificant. But
Well, that's certainly.
yeah,
We've certainly got through a few rants in quite quick succession.
yeah.
there.
Oh, I think we've got another caller, Lewis. I think
we
we've
do,
got
yes.
another caller. I'll wait until the wheel stops. Ring ring.
The
This
thing I like about this is that we replaced the you making the noise of the wheel with a wheel, but we are not going to replace this
No.
ring noise that we're making with like a telephone.
no, definitely not. Welcome to Bullshit FM, and the next caller is Maxim Gelmann, and we hope you enjoy listening now.
Oh my god, who invented this shit? Look, they all go soggy all this time. Look, I just touched it with my fingers, and in a drink, I can taste this stuff all the time. It doesn't, like, who finishes it that quickly that like this doesn't go soggy? After 5 to 10 minutes, you have to eat bloody paper. I didn't come to a bar to eat paper, I came to do a drink. And then this stuff, look, and it has all this glue inside that's bad for the environment. Who invented this? Who comes up with this stuff? Like, it's useless. It's bloody useless, guys. I can't believe it. And everyone's drinking from it. Everyone's complaining. But no one is doing anything. This is useless. This stuff is just a piece of useless. Just sheer useless. They should replace them everywhere with those pasta straws. What the heck? Who needs that? Who needs this paper? Looks like this Christmas candy anyways. Who wants bloody Christmas candy in their drinks? Look, you can tear it apart. This is just like to burn. That's all it's good for. But even then it's toxic because it has all the glues and stuff inside. I mean, this is useless. Even I can't drink anything normally anymore with this in it. Like, everyone's complaining, but no one's doing anything. I don't get it. Like, bars, restaurants, don't you see it? Everyone hates this shit. And you're not doing anything about it. No one's doing anything about it. Every day we have to face this BS. Every day having to deal and suck on this paper. Who wants paper? Why are you feeding us paper, bars? Why are you feeding us paper? I just want to enjoy my drink through strudel. And what are you giving me? You're giving me bloody paper straw. Who needs them? Get rid of them. Burn them all. Like, who needs them? We don't need them. We need to save those trees and not use paper straws. They are useless. Look at them. You can just fold them up and throw them away. I don't want this in my drink. This ends up all in my drink. Little pieces of paper. If I want dinner, I'm gonna ask for something else. Thank you.
Wow. That was quite
That might be one of my favourite rants, I think, of the ones we've had. You can tell he's got this sort of bubbling fury he's lived with for many years about paper straws.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. It falls apart. I don't want to eat paper.
It's useless. It's useless. I mean, he is right. They are just so flimsy, and they last about 2 seconds before they dissolve into sand.
My number one problem with them is the lack of tensile strength that a paper straw has.
Yeah.
Because if anything is like a sort of a semi-viscous material, you have no hope in hell of sucking it through the straw. Like,
Yeah.
for example, a milkshake. Are you ever going to be able to suck a milkshake through a paper straw?
No.
No, you're not, because paper straws are shit.
Yeah, they really are. And 2 sips and it's already broke apart and you've swallowed half of it. You know
Yes,
what I mean? It's
completely.
like he died on a straw. Came out like Jesus. What a shit way to die, choking on a straw. Do you know what I mean?
That is a shit way to die. You're completely right.
But you know, pasta straws are just so. It's actually a very clever way to do business. Yeah, can you do a rant for us? Oh yeah, I'll just do it about the product that I sell, which is really clever. But it's true that the pasta straw is so strong, like you need to actually snap it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not gonna be eroded by anything for at least 100 years of sipping.
And the thing is, I do genuinely know how much we talk about them on the podcast and how much we have talked about them. But they genuinely are a great product.
Yes.
It's like, they genuinely are really good. They don't degrade. They don't taste like anything. They're just really good.
They are. They taste good as well. Once you've once the vitality has been sapped out of them. You know.
Yeah, and you crunch them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Something else.
Yeah.
If you're at a worm farm.
Yeah, you can chuck your used strudel into
in
your
the
worm farm.
Great.
Yeah. Danny, you're going to get a worm farm, mate.
Piss off! I'm not getting a fucking worm farm, okay? I'll feed you to the worms if you bring that up again.
I'll get very slow
do you know what? I'll get a worm farm and I'll put the bodies that I have under the floorboards to them. You know what I mean? Do some good with the world.
One day you'll come to my house and you'll be like, just stood there in the kitchen or whatever. You'll be like, having a drink or something. You'll just see out the corner of your eye. What the fuck is that in the corner, Lewis? This is the worm farm. The what? It's the worm farm.
I'll do
And you see me preparing food or whatever and just throwing food scraps into the worm farm. You're like, what the fuck?
I'll do the best double take. I'll be sipping my tea quite peacefully and I'll just double take to you in the garden with your garden stuff on, just putting soil in it and cardboard and smiling the creepiest smile I've ever seen.
Look at what I'm doing, Danny. I'm saving the planet, Danny.
Look at my worms.
look at all of my worms, Danny. There are 30 of them and they all have individual names.
Give me the herbs, worm. Maxim, thank you so much for your rant.
Yes, thank you.
We sort of trailed off at the end there, but we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Time for another spin. Getting my money out of this thing. Someone else go.
I'll
Yeah.
go.
Go on, sweetie.
I've actually brought this up before, but because it was in a normal podcast, you dismissed me, Daniel. Whereas now you've actually got to talk about it.
Okay.
Can you see where this is going?
I hope so.
I want to talk about the Muppets.
Think about it, Danny. It makes no sense. The MU.
I've got
It makes
so
the
many
internal
questions,
logic
it's
makes no
actually
sense.
ridiculous.
Fucking
Like,
MU.
Fucking right. Miss Piggy and Kermit have kids,
Mm,
and the boys all look like frogs, and the girls all look like pigs. That shouldn't be a fucking thing. They should all be like a frog-pig hybrid. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes. Also, do frogs and pigs also exist in the MU? But and Kermit has been somehow made to look like them by a cruel god.
Are frogs and pigs actually things, or like?
Plus,
Is the
the-
species
no.
a Muppet? You know, like.
yeah, plus Stadler and Waldorf look like human beings.
Yes, exactly. What
Yeah.
the fuck is Beaker?
Yeah,
Every-
what is Beaker?
Everything that we inhabit also exists in the Muppet world.
Yes, but in Muppet Christmas Carol, they appear to coexist alongside humans.
Yeah.
And, like, Michael Caine doesn't even notice that they're Muppets. He's talking to the Uncle Sam Blue Eagle thing, and he's just like, yeah, that's just my head teacher. That's fine.
Yeah, well,
He doesn't seem to notice that it's a Muppet.
maybe they're just different, a different kind of species in this sort of MU universe.
Yeah, but then that. I'm sorry, this really, really bugs me. Genuinely, if I had the powers, I would hold a seance, bring Jim Henson back from the dead, and say, Jim, what the fuck is going on?
I'm pretty sure Jim Henson wasn't really thinking about the sort of implications this far.
I'm thinking about it, so he has to think about it. For example, like, how did Miss Piggy and Kermit have babies? How did that even happen?
Are they the same species of Muppet?
Well, I think I have the answer to this. When a mummy bear and a daddy bear love each other very much.
Well, no, it's a mummy pig and a daddy frog.
They give each
Frogs
other a
lay
special.
eggs.
They
Frogs lay eggs. They don't have sex to have babies. They lay fucking eggs.
They give each other a special hug.
Hold on, right. That's a good fucking point. Kermit is a frog, so he's an amphibian. Miss Piggy
is a mammal.
Yeah. So, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Frogs lay eggs, pigs don't. How did this work?
Did Kermit and Miss Piggy's children hatch out of eggs?
Okay.
Some kind of horrible
so many
pig
questions.
frog egg
It's
thing?
ridiculous.
Did Miss Piggy have to like? Did they have like tadpole children at first in like a little pond out back that became?
Hasn't Kermit got something stupid like 4,000 siblings or something like that?
Yes, they made an offhand comment about how he's got like thousands of brothers and sisters because he was a tadpole.
They're not actually animals.
No, right. I'm sorry. Right. I brought this up on a different podcast, and you dismissed me. You have to talk about it this time, Daniel. Humour me and get involved.
Okay, well, maybe they just produce offspring in a completely different way to how we imagine amphibians and pigs to produce offspring, and maybe the idea that they produce offspring the way that amphibians and pigs do is still in their brain for some reason, but they just produce them just miraculously, and they just form. Or maybe they're just created by other human beings, and maybe the Muppets believe that they're actual sort of in sync with the world around them, and they just are, they aren't even told that they're made by human beings. So that's why Kermit thinks that he's birthed tadpoles, and yet he doesn't question the fact that he's had relations with a completely different sort of type of animal. So maybe it's like an intense form of like brainwashing. And
so it's like Man of Steel, but they don't know. Like, I think, was it Man of Steel where like they had like an ancient Kryptonian skull or whatever, and then so Kryptonian babies just like happened.
Yeah,
they just were like in like breeding pods.
Right. And another question that I have is like these interspecies marriages. Like Kermit and Miss Piggy are the prime example. But then we see Fozzie, who I'm pretty sure is married to a female bear.
Waka Waka.
Like,
yeah, he is married to a female bear.
Exactly. Like,
so So is Kermit and Miss Piggy's relationship like the equivalent of an interracial relationship?
Well, yeah.
You can tell me.
It is.
Well, of course it is. They're not. Miss Piggy's a pig, and Kermit's a frog.
Yeah, but you just said they're not actually animals. Are they both just Muppets? Are they both actually made of felt and stuff with
of
cotton
course
or whatever?
Right. Okay. Right. Let's just put the cards on the table. They are Muppets. They are made of felt. That is what they're literally called. The Muppets.
I know.
A fucking second. If you can make 40 episodes of this bullshit talking about made-up characters and characters that are fucking drawn in a comic book or some shit like this, you can do this with the Muppets as well.
No, I can't, because...
Yes, you can.
No, there's a slight difference. I don't give a fuck about the Muppets.
Well, regardless to say, Muppets make no sense, and it's very stressful.
I can agree with that.
This logic also transfers to Romeo and Juliet. They're gnomes. So, God. Like, if Romeo and Juliet had a baby, would it be purple? How do the colours work? They don't have, like...
Yeah, they don't
organs.
have
How do they
clothes,
reproduce?
so therefore they can't sort of take their clothes off to reveal genitals, which is a horrible sentence. But yeah, they are hollow, because one of them gets smashed and he's hollow. So, do they have to, like, dig up some clay, form a baby out of the clay, and then fire it somehow?
I don't fucking know. That's the thing. I've got so many questions. And again, with like the interracial couple,
Yeah.
for want of a better term, Nanette the Frog and
Yes. And Stephen Merchant
Stephen
the gnome.
Merchant the Gnome.
Yes, that's a really good point. She's a frog. Also, what's his name? The flamingo.
Featherstone.
Featherstone the flamingo. He's made of plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
So is he? Does he have the same life form as like a clay-based gnome?
I don't know. Honestly, I've got so many fucking questions.
Do they have-
William Shakespeare is a statue.
Yes, made of metal.
Do they have kids?
Well, yes, because it's implied that because like Romeo and Juliet, I think Nomeo talks to his father, and Juliet talks to her mother.
Other way around.
Oh, other way around. But yeah,
Okay. Well, we obviously know the answers to these inconsistencies.
the writers didn't care enough to flesh it out.
I mean, it is as simple as that. But if you're engaging in the world, I don't think you're going to come up with a satisfying answer to sort of fit in with the biology of these fictional.
If I'm asking these questions, other people are asking these questions.
I feel like there should be some kind of online discourse about this.
Did
Should we start a
that-
website?
Seriously, I've got so many questions that I need answers to.
Did I ever talk about Wheezy from Toy Story?
No.
Did I not? Have I never mentioned that before? Because I don't want to repeat myself.
Is he
No,
the
no, go
penguin?
on.
Okay, so you know Wheezy from Toy Story 2?
The penguin.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
he was called Wheezy before he became Wheezy.
Like Scar from
Yeah.
because I think it's explained in The Lion King 2 or 1.5 or 3 or because they've made like a million of those films that Scar's original name was like he had a name similar to Mufasa but that name meant trash or rubbish or like discarded
Wow.
things, and then he got the Scar and everyone started calling him Scar.
Wow, that's fucking horrible. So maybe he isn't a psychopath and more of a sociopath. Maybe these horrible parents and siblings shaped him into this power-hungry tyrant because they made fun of him for most of his life. Wow, that's a layer of complexity. Sid from Toy Story. Sid didn't know that the toys were sentient.
No, he wouldn't have done.
He had no idea that they were. So he had no idea that he was torturing real things, and yet the toys come alive and have traumatized him for life for playing with toys. It's like, yeah, he might have been a bit violent with the toys, but he didn't fucking know that they were, that they could think and that they could feel. I think he would probably think twice. I think anyone would. It's just that we assume that he's a monster because he treats the protagonist of the film badly, but from his perspective he doesn't actually know that. And he seems to be pretty comprehensive in the games that he plays. He plays like interrogation and army blowing up army soldiers and things like that, but I don't think he deserved to be traumatized for the rest of his life.
Well, that's I suppose that is quite true. If he didn't know he was doing it, I suppose maybe he was just yeah. But anyway, I've done some research just now. Turns out there is a TV show called The Muppet Babies. It was an animated show that ran in 1984. You ready for this? Kermit, Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, and Animal and their other friends explore their vast imagination to go on amazing adventures inside their nursery. So they are babies. At some point in the Muppet life cycle is a baby stage.
Okay, right. I have a fucking question. They're made of felt. How do they grow?
Do they have like grafts to
Maybe-
like
I don't know.
extend their torsos and arms and stuff? How does it work?
Maybe they're remade as they grow up.
And they transplant the stuffing, so it's like a brain
Yeah,
transplant
but
or
then
something.
there's that whole thing about if you change the handle and the head of a hammer, is it still the same hammer?
That's true. Or is it like a sci-fi thing almost, where like they're like robots in a sense, but you're just taking out the processor from one robot and putting it in another?
I would then argue that that's not the same robot.
No, it's probably not the same robot. But does it experience like a continuous existence? This is the issue with the Star Trek transporter as well. If there's a break in the continuous existence, then it cannot be said that you are the same person on the planet as on the ship.
I'm curious as well as to how language works, because I'm assuming that since they're babies they have to acquire language.
Yeah.
So why the fuck do they all talk so differently? Beaker doesn't talk at all. He just goes me, like.
Yeah, that's true.
And Like, animal can't really talk properly.
Yeah.
Why is there such a variation in language?
Yeah. Plus, none of them really have tongues. Like, they open their mouths and you can see painted tongues, but they don't actually move their tongues.
And yet
So
there's
how do they make
food in-
proper phonic sounds?
How do they eat? They don't have a throat,
Yes.
but there's like food.
Yeah.
You know all the answers to these questions.
Right, the answer, it doesn't matter, is not an answer!
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they are created by human beings. That's how they reproduce, that's how they have what they have, and that's how they imitate life. They imitate the life cycle of humans because it's human beings that have made them. And then they're destroyed every time they grow up a little bit.
I see. Well, I just wanted to get out our
That's the
joint
only
frustration.
that's the only reasonable explanation if you're actually engaging in the world. Because of course it's getting of course they don't have tongues because they're fucking whippets.
Yeah, but they're leading lives.
Yeah.
I know.
So are you saying that in the world, they are also generated by humans?
Yeah, but maybe they don't believe
So on
that
like
they are.
Sesame Street, Elmo has been made by a human, but he doesn't know it.
Maybe they don't know that they are.
This is
And
some
they're
like
just-
Truman Show level shit. This
This
is.
is very Truman
yeah,
Show.
maybe Truman Show. That's what. Maybe that's what it
Okay.
is.
I'm into this. I like this.
Like, fuck's sake.
Thing is, for me, like, yes, that's a possible explanation, but I still have these questions that I need answering. I still have them, and they need answers. So I think the only reasonable course of action is to bring Jim Henson back from the dead.
The necromancy is the only reasonable
It's
course
the
of
only
action. You're
reasonable
completely
course of
right.
action.
Yeah.
I'm just being a conscious citizen of the world.
By
I'm being a good citizen and doing my duty by bringing Jim Henson back from the dead.
well, I mean, I can't argue with that.
Being a good
Danny wants to.
citizen. And for the sake of good citizenship, I must resurrect a corpse.
I swear to God, there aren't many things in life that I get angry about and stay angry about, but this is genuinely the hill that I will die on.
Right. What a small hill to die.
It may be small, but it's my hill.
I mean, fair enough. Fair
Well,
enough.
now that we've squared that circle,
Haven't though.
is it time to spin the wheel, Cocker? Go on.
Yes, I think we've got another caller coming in. Whee! Welcome back to Bullshit FM, and now we have Grace McIntosh. Hope you enjoy now.
Do you know what really, really boils my blood? And actually, this is a new pet peeve because I passed my driving test a year ago next month. And let's get this straight, I'm not here trying to claim to be the world's best driver or the world's best at parking. But the inconsiderate people that take up 2 parking spots in any car park are the worst people in the world. It is so clear. There's 2 lines either side. A bay. You park your car right in the middle. How hard is it? I mean, I've seen vans. I've seen 7-seater people carriers get their car perfectly in the lines. So why can a Mini, a Fiat 500, not manage to do that simple task? There's nothing worse than when you're driving round a busy car park. You finally see what you think is an adequate space. You get closer and realise that the inconsiderate idiot driver has parked their car over the line. So you cannot fit your car between into the bay. It just makes me so angry. And actually, I've done some research into this matter. And in LA, it's actually a citable offence to park in 2 spots or 3 spots or 4 spots. It's illegal. You can be taken to court. And I want this type of legislation brought into Britain to save us kind and nice people, to save us time, to save us, the pent-up rage and frustration, to keep our mental well-being stable, because it really, really gets me angry. So to anybody that likes to double park and park over the line to, make it inaccessible to another car, shame on you. You really boil my blood.
Wow.
She certainly feels very strongly about this.
I cannot express how much I agree. I really can't.
I mean, it fits with our theme of just sheer laziness that people just engage in.
Yeah.
I felt it was what a dignified way to end the rant. Shame on you. Shame on you. It's
Yeah.
I think it's even worse to be told shame on you or I'm disappointed in you than to be shouted at and called names. I think it's just something more deeply sort of fundamental that makes you want to take a look at yourself. But who the fuck parks in doubled spaces?
Honestly, it really frustrates me. And thing is, it's not only people who park like in two spaces, but people who will park on the lines of a space. like for example, when work was normal, like pre-lockdown, I would normally start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, meaning that I was there at like 5:45 or something.
Sure.
And I would always pick an end parking space. I pick an end parking space and then park as far over as I can on the side where there won't be a car, if that makes sense. So like right next to the curb.
Yeah.
Because then I've got like 3 feet on my driver's side where I can get out. And I'm going to worry as much about like a car hitting me in the day as they pull in because they're incompetent. And I did this one day. I was parked in an end bay, parked as far like over to the left as possible. And I came out of work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just did a 9-hour shift. I was exhausted. And this fucking car in the bay next to me had parked so that his wing mirror was half an inch away from mine.
God damn.
Wow.
And I stood there for a good, 30 seconds just looking at it, thinking, how the fuck can you be so inconsiderate? I have a picture still. I have this picture on my phone because I physically could not get in my car. Could not get in on my driver's side. I had to open the passenger door and climb across. And it just pisses me off that people are so inconsiderate. But then, if I'd have tried to get in and hit his car with my door,
He'd be suing you,
it would have been my fault.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
And then you see the designated driver walk to the car. He's incredibly small, he's green, and he looks up at you and says, "Get over it, motherfucker!" And then he just drives. And then you start a rant about the Muppets again.
Daniel, I don't have the words for how much I hate you sometimes.
Did you ever see the family? Sorry to digress utterly and completely, but did you ever see the Family Guy version of Taken?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Where it's Kermit the Frog that's doing Taken, and he's like, "I don't have any money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for someone like you. If you don't let the girl go, I will track you down, I will find you, and I will kill you."
The thing is, right, since you brought it up, Family Guy raised a really good fucking point. They had a bit about Kermit's baby.
No!
They had a bit about it, which was half pig, half frog, and was a fucking abomination.
Yeah, it was like lying in the crib going, "Kill me!" Yeah.
I shouldn't have digressed. I'm sorry, Grace. I'm so sorry.
But you fucking did!
I know. Grace, you're right. Human beings are shit, and they deserve extinction. I know that's not exactly what you were saying, but take a couple of leaps, and that's where you end up.
The thing is, we can use Grace's point and marry it up with Lewis's point about the trolleys. Supermarket car parks are a microcosm of laziness.
They are a hellscape.
Yeah.
Is what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Grace, thank you so much for calling us today. And yes, on to the next nugget of shite. Whee! Okay, I'll go this time. Making life-altering bets with yourself.
Right.
Okay, so I'll give you an example, right? So I'm walking down the street and I see a lamppost like nearly in front of me, like a couple more steps and I'm there. And then I say, if I don't get there in 2 seconds, the world will end. And then, so I'm stressing myself out to get to this lamppost. I'm like, 1. And then I just make it, and I'm like, whew, that was close. Oh, there's a car. Right, okay. You've got 5 seconds to get to it, or a relative you know will die. And then I'm like running, and then I stop, and I'm thinking, wait, what relative? No. But do you know what? Do you ever do that? Do you ever?
I do completely know what you mean. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you two?
If you
To
try
get on
and
tourist, go on.
if you try and like throw something into a mug, and maybe you say, if I don't get this in, the universe will stop or something like that. You just put the stakes so incredibly high that you put so much pressure on yourself. I cannot be the only one that does this.
No, I know what you mean. It's there's this little like stairway to get onto our estate, and whenever I'm walking down the pavement to get to the little stairway to get into our estate, I'm on the side of the road where cars are coming toward me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I always end up racing a car that's coming toward me and thinking I have to get to the stairs before the car gets to the stairs. And I'm like, I start like power walking down the road, like backpack full of shite from Tesco, like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And
The difference in that is that Danny's talking about a parked car. You're racing a moving
No, but
car.
it could be
in
anything.
reverse
though.
directions, yeah.
It's not very specific. It could be anywhere at any time. It's
The thing
like
is, you're just not going to win a race against a moving car.
I have won many times. I've lost many times, but I have won many times. But yeah, I know what Danny means about like, oh yeah, the world ends. Because I always end up thinking, well yeah, if I don't get here, then like fire from the car will explode and hit me. But if I'm on the stairs, then the barricade, my estate is protected.
This just sounds like a really insane OCD. Like, you know,
Or-
the thing about having to like flick a light switch 17 times when you leave a room, otherwise someone's gonna die.
or if you're looking at a clock and it's like you point at it to predict when when it's going to change minutes, and you're like, okay, I've got 10 seconds. I'm going to give it 10 seconds. And if I don't get this right, everyone will die. And you're like, 10, 9, 8, and then it changes. And you're like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, got it.
It's like when you're like doing like a like revision, like revising for something or learning like vocab for a Spanish lesson or something, and like you end up looking down the list and you're like, oh well, I saw the answer for the next one, but I would have known that if I had have had my hand on it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You get to the 10th
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
shit.
I mean, I sort of knew that. I just didn't know what to do. Yeah, but that's something that I do like almost daily. Stress
I'm
stress
gonna go
myself
ahead
to
and-
fuck.
I'm just gonna go ahead and book you guys in for a psych eval, you know, just to make sure that things are a-okay up there.
Maybe that's.
I can save you some time. They're not.
It's like watching the sort of psychiatric interview with David Mitchell and Peep Show. He's like, I'm not here for therapy. Okay, I'm here for careers advice. I'm not here for. I don't want any brain worms in my brain. I don't want any fingers in my ear or anything like. And then he's like, just so against the idea of that, but he so clearly needs it because his character's so creepy and so obsessive with this poor woman who's been subjected to his obsession. Do you watch Peep Show?
I tried to start watching it, but it was sufficiently depressing that like I just didn't go back to it.
Oh, it's
in the
so
end.
good. It is so funny. You can't. You know, it's one of those shows that are really funny, but you just can't really quote because so much happens, and you forget, and then you're on to the next one, and it's like you need to be in the experience in order to sort of do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
I see, but no, yeah, it was like sufficiently depressing that I was like, oh my god, I don't think I really want to. I don't think I really want to watch that.
Yeah. There's a scene where it's his wedding, and he's up in the rafters because he can't really go through with it, and they're deciding what to do, and everyone's waiting on him, and he's up in the sort of top row, and it's Robert Webb, isn't it?
Yeah, Robert Webb.
Robert Webb's character is needing a piss, and he's like, I really need to piss, but really need to piss. He's like, well, no, you'll just have to hold it in. I can't hold it in. I really need to go. He said, if you really need to piss that much, then you'll just have to piss yourself. You're telling me to piss myself? Yes, and do it quietly. Oh, great. After that, what will I do then? Eat myself? Fuck myself? You're such a... Are you doing it already? Yes, I'm doing it already. I'm so pathetic that when you ordered me to start pissing, I've started the procedure. This is you whittling down my self-esteem over the years. I hope you're proud. When are you going to stop? Not for a bit. And it goes down the rafters and people are getting pissed on in the church. It's like his mum and his mother-in-law are checking their hats because piss is going on them. And David Mitchell, oh my God, this has got to be a dream. Nothing this bad could ever happen in reality. But anyway, let's spin the wheel.
Anyway, yes, let's spin the wheel. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, Danny, I think there's someone on the phone.
Oh, is there?
Oh, yeah, it's Zachary.
Sutcliffe.
It's Zachary Sutcliffe. Zachary Sutcliffe. Oh, yeah, oh, God, yeah. But yeah, Zachary Sutcliffe, he's got something that he wants to rant about. Should we let him have a bit of airtime?
We better answer before he hangs up. No! I'm doing that for editing's sake. Enjoy. No!
Okay, so I've been sat here for the past hour thinking of something to complain about. And then I kind of went down this rabbit hole of, for fuck's sake, Zachary, you complain about 80 things a day. You can literally put something in front of me. I'll give you 7 reasons why I hate it. And I could be talking about something like I actually love. So, yeah, that sucked. But I want to talk about food. And it's going to be like maybe controversial, I don't know, because it's something that's universally loved. But I, personally, fucking hate food. I hate the fact that if I don't go to work and spend my money on this thing and do this thing every day that I don't even enjoy, I fucking die. I die. I'm dead. Done out. Like, it's not even like a good death either. It's like a slow one where like I see myself like deteriorate and like turn to dust and shit. Like, I don't want that. No, that's a scam. Food is an absolute scam. I hate the fact that instead of spending that hard-earned money on like trainers or going to the beach and seeing people get shit on by seagulls, instead I need to spend it on like shoveling cheese strings down my mouth. And I can't even like eat what I want to eat. I need to eat like sprouts. I don't want to eat sprouts. I want to eat like a baby. I don't even like baby bells. I don't know. Sometimes like instead of eating for real, I will just like gulp down a glass of Pepsi, or like I'll have sleep for dinner. You know? The only time I've ever looked forward to eating is so I can get rid of that feeling in my stomach. I can get rid of looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, nice ribs, man, you know what I mean? Like, it's... I don't know. I just want, like, a smoothie that tastes of nothing and just gulp that down every day. But then I'll even get called weird. It's just like this inescapable thing that isn't even that bad. I'm just being a big softie about it. Yeah. So that's a glimpse into how unhealthy I am. Cool, hope you enjoyed that. I didn't.
What?
Certainly a very niche rant, that one.
Yeah.
The thing is,
you know
all
what?
3 of us love cooking, love eating, love food.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
It's a one that we're going to struggle to identify with this one, I think.
Genuinely, my favourite part of the day is when I get to eat something. I bookmark my day
By the meals.
by the meals, and I spend most of my day thinking about my next meal.
Oh, I mean,
like,
same.
When I'm at work, I spend the entire first half of my shift, and I get through the entire first half of my shift thinking about the food that I'm going to eat on my fucking break.
I mean,
And
I
rightly
think
so.
I think that there's a good couple of points that he made there. I mean, it's like, I love food, and I can't wait to eat food. I'm thinking about food right now, and I want to hurry this along so I can fucking... No, I'm joking. But like, you are sort of a slave to food, aren't you? Because he is right. It's like, if you don't eat, you will die.
Yeah.
So you have to, regardless of whether you like it or not, you have to spend money on food. And if you don't want to eat and you just want to spend your money on other things that you enjoy, it's like, you don't have a choice. Because if you want to enjoy the things that you enjoy and continue to enjoy them, you have to eat and you have to live. So it's like, you are ultimately a prisoner of food. And it's just, it's lucky that we like it. But if you don't like food, then you're fucked. It's like you have to continuously do this thing every day
I
and
suppose.
spend your money on it. So I understand it from that perspective. I mean, like the food that he was referencing when it's time to sort of sate your hunger. Yeah, sometimes I'll just gulp a big glass of Pepsi, or I'll shovel cheese strings down my... I can't remember the last time I had cheese strings.
I fucking love cheese strings.
They're good for doing stuffed crusts if you're making pizza.
They are. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of stuffed crust, but if
What? What?
well, I'm not. So
Why are you not a bit... What? I don't even know how to process this. What
because
don't you like about stuffed crust?
I like it when it's plain. I like the crust when it's plain.
I see.
I don't know why. I just do.
I mean,
Go
I guess that makes sense.
Go on, Lewis. Go on.
I like
Savage
stuffed
me. Savage me for doing something a little bit different to you, you fucking authoritarian.
Oh, for God's sake!
What?
I think it's just that yeah, I just like pizza, and I'm willing to try any type of pizza. Put anything on a pizza, and I'll give it a go. I think I've tried normal crust. I've tried stuffed crust. I think normal crust, you have to combine it with a bit of the normal base of the pizza to give it enough flavour for it to be truly very palatable. But I think stuffed crust, as much as incredibly unhealthy as it is, I mean, pizza is not a salad.
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
But as incredibly unhealthy as it is, I think it's like an interesting, different flavour texture thing.
I'm not against giving stuff a go. I'll give anything a go. It's just like once I've given it a go, if I don't like it, I don't keep eating it.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, good.
Right. Sorry, I feel the need to jump in. I'm going back to the thing that you said about like not enjoying food and not enjoying eating.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I get that some people do feel like that. However, I don't understand why you would resign yourself to that, if that makes sense. Like,
Right.
I don't like doing the dishes. I fucking hate doing the dishes, but they've got to be done. I don't have a choice in the fact that they've got to be done. Much like we don't have a choice in the fact that we have to eat. So when I'm doing the dishes, I do whatever I can to make it fun and make it an enjoyable experience. Like,
Yeah.
I put music on, I dance around. Like,
Yeah.
and you can do the same with food. Like, find ingredients that you like and experiment with them. Make it an event rather than something that you're forced into.
Even if you've got to like coat an entire rotisserie chicken in Tabasco to make it
Yeah,
palatable.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, this has gone beyond just wanting food. This is like quite an interesting philosophical question. It's like, I think, some things have to be done, and I think that there's a few people out there that just resent that fact. It's like, why? Why do I have to do them? Why can't I be here to do the things that I want to do rather than engage in something that I have to do, that I didn't ask for, that I didn't sort of sign up to, that just for some reason I'm burdened with and just have to do it anyway?
Fucking honestly, the human body is so fucking flawed. We're
Yeah,
I
so
know
what you mean.
flawed.
Our retinas are backwards.
Fucking ridiculous.
fuck-
We have to eat every now and then to survive. We can't go out in the sun for long periods of time.
Yeah.
If we fall too hard, we break something. It's fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. Evolution has done us dirty.
It's like, what gets me is like, when you're a kid, you trip on something, hurt your ankle, then then you're like 5 minutes, you're like, that hurts, and then 10 minutes later, you're like running around again. But like nowadays, if like you tripped and fell on the stairs or something, your ankle will heal over the course of 6 months, and then it will never be right again. Yep. You can say goodbye to having a perfectly 100% functioning ankle. It'll always hurt a little bit when it's cold or something weird like that. And I'm 20. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And by the way, I feel like I did just realise as I was re-listening to Zach's audio then, is that ages and ages ago, he and I were talking about like food and stuff while we're on set, and he said, there's like a Subway around the corner, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll go for lunch. Yeah, that's great. And I don't think we actually did end up going in the end, but I was thinking, what are you gonna get? And I was saying, I'll get like this, like I'll have like jalapenos, and I'll have olives, and I'll have this, and I'll have this, and like whatever I would have on this sandwich. I was like, what are you getting? And Zach just went, ham.
Yeah.
Just ham on white bread. And I'm like,
I would just have ham.
yeah.
I think there's something virtuous about having a plain sort of... See, if I go to Burger King, right, the thing I have from Burger King is a chicken royale meal, right?
Okay.
But the normal way to have it is with mayo and lettuce. I don't have any of that. I just have it plain. I don't know why. I just like it plain as it is. You know, I've started softening on that. Like if I have like a burger, I'm gonna have salad and all that on it.
Yeah.
But there are some things that I just have plain. I used to not see. Well, I used to have ham sandwiches without any butter on it.
Yeah.
Just like and when I was even younger, I used to just have pieces and butter.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's weird little quirky things that you just like, you know.
I think I've always been more of a combine foods to make some unholy deliciousness. That's always what I've been like. I think like when I was younger, I used to have these like crackers if I was having like a small tea that I was like making for myself. I don't know if you'll know them. You probably will. Like Rivita make them. It's like fruit and grain or something, and they've got like little raisins in them. And I'd like butter them and then put cheese on them, and then I would chop up a banana, put the banana on that, and then sweet chili sauce on that. And that combination of all of those textures and flavors is godly. I think maybe that's why I like things like pineapple on pizza or on a burger or stuff like that. Maybe that's why I like those things, is because I've always been more into like mixing foods together than I have been letting individual things sing.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't like mixing sweet and salted foods together.
But I love it. That's the thing.
Like, I'll have ketchup on my chips and all that. That's probably one of the only things. I mean, I'd never have sweet and salted popcorn ever.
No,
It's
I
the
agree.
best.
No.
It's fucking shite.
The salt contaminates the sweet, and then you don't get two flavours. It's just one fucked up flavour.
Yeah.
But I think the one flavour is a wholly wonderful thing.
No.
I really like it.
Salted. I want my mouth to be dry as sand when I finish that bag of popcorn.
I want to be in pain when I finish the bucket of popcorn.
I want to be spitting feathers when I finish it. But no, I quite like. I don't like mixing salty and sweet foods. I just think it's disgusting, and I think anyone that does it should be sterilised.
Oh my god, that is me. You know that's me.
Yeah, you're done. No. no, I wouldn't go that far. I just don't like it. Just I don't know why. It's a sort of very irrational sort of purity. You know. No. I feel like a Dalek about food. Do you know what I mean? Anything that's
sorry, go on.
anything that's different must just be eliminated.
But then when I'm making pizza, like from scratch, I'll put a bit of honey on before I put it in the oven.
Honey on pizza?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm having a honeyed pizza like you'd have honeyed parsnips. It's just like a little bit, and it just gives the cheese a bit of something.
I'd just like to point out that I don't have that. I'm normal.
I know, but there comes a point where you just fucking take it too far, don't you? Because if you just... Does it really make that much of a difference?
I think it tastes delicious, yeah.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I think there comes a point where herbs and spices and wee things that you put in your meat and all that, and your dinners in general, I think there comes a point where the person that's making it knows that it does fuck all, and they're doing it to be a pretentious twat.
Yeah, I think it does become like diminishing returns eventually.
Yes,
like if you put in like two
a bit
spices.
of sage. It's like, what is sage good with? It's normally, and they don't know, they never know, and they just say, well, it's normally good for, medium rare kind of thing. It's like, is it any specific kind of meat? What does it do? Well, it's just to amplify the flavors. So it's like, right, so it's amplifying the flavors that are already there and not creating a new one. Well, it does so many. It's like, that's just bollocks. That's bollocks. Yeah. That's someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, just try to look as if they're all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely know what you're talking about. I think it like I say, it is diminishing returns. Like if I'm doing like say a pasta sauce or something, it's just your normal sort of salt and pepper, and then maybe basil and oregano. That's all that really, and maybe some soy sauce as well if it's like a meaty sauce. But like that's all that really goes in, because like I think, especially with Italian cooking, it's all about like trying to make it just sing for itself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Rather than trying to make this complicated flavour that's like difficult to pick apart. Like I like eating something and being able to taste all of the things that I've put into it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I love cooking, and I love sort of mixing it up and sort of experimenting with stuff. But it's like sometimes I just want chicken nuggets and chips.
Yeah, I know. I completely know what you mean. Yeah,
And that's not a crime. Just to have a simple food that doesn't require thinking and doesn't require sort of mixing it up and sort of putting in sage and basil and stuff like that. It's just like, no, chicken nuggets and chips with a fucking mountain of ketchup and a bit of salt. That's it. Fucking geese it.
you know what my version of that is?
What?
Curly fries. I would kill a man for some plain curly fries. They are insanely delicious.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, the flavour is just incredible. I don't know, it's like a miracle of engineering. I don't know how it happens, but I love it.
I could go a curly fry right now. A plate of them.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh, go on.
And I feel like Daniel's going to have me fucking...
Just
like,
so you know,
crucified for this.
my crossbow is armed, right?
It's aimed
cool,
from
so
Scotland towards our house.
I'm going to get under the desk for this.
Okay.
In every situation where potatoes are concerned, I prefer sweet potatoes to normal potatoes.
Are you fucking joking? Sweet potato is disgusting.
What? No!
Yes.
I love
Yes.
sweet potato. I think it has. Don't get me wrong. I think it has. Naming it sweet potato is a terrible name because I think it's a root vegetable for starters. A potato is not a vegetable; it's a tuber. But I think a sweet potato does have a place on the plate. Do you know what I mean? Like sweet potato fries, I think they're not like an equivalent to potato fries, but I think they're a different thing that works in a lot of meals.
All throughout my life, like this has been a constant thing. I don't enjoy normal potato. I find it boring. I find it boring and like baby potatoes, for example.
Yeah.
You eat them, and they're in your mouth for far too long with little to no flavour.
Yeah, there is no point to
don't
just
enjoy
boiling
them
potatoes
at
and
all.
putting them on
Same
a plate.
with chips.
Yeah.
Chips bore me. I don't like just normal potato chips. Sweet potato has that extra level of flavour.
Yeah.
And is also, it's got a nicer texture for me, which I much. It's like creamier, and I much prefer it.
Yeah, I get that.
I disagree, and you're wrong.
You are wrong.
You are wrong. No, I just prefer potatoes because it's on you to decide what it tastes like. You know, because it's potatoes, and then you can add butter, you can add salt, you can add whatever you want. So it's completely up to you.
And the thing is, I do, but you know how people say like water doesn't taste like anything. To me, potatoes don't taste like anything.
Well,
I'm not sure if I agree with that one, but I do know what you mean.
I agree that water tastes of nothing. But potatoes taste like potatoes.
With potatoes.
You know.
I'm just not here for it. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Well,
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think that might be all of the rants we have. This has been an extra long bumper episode because we've been. Oh, have you got one more?
Whoa! Wait a minute. Let's thank Zach for his call before we get into anything else.
Fair point, sorry.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Zach, for calling, and we'll see you on the flip side. Hopefully, you can get some cheese strings or something. I don't fucking whatever you eat.
I think Zach's has been the most controversial.
Crisp packets, potato peelings. Is that what you eat? Who knows? Anyway, see you later. Chloe, your rant.
Well,
hang on. I've got to spin the wheel
I was
first.
gonna say.
Oh yeah, shit. It's an extra big one. Extra big spin.
Right.
Yep.
This is something that pisses me off on a daily basis because I have been properly fucked over with it. Fucking genetics.
Right.
Right.
Piss me off.
Okay.
Because you two have met me, you have seen me, and I am, for want of a better phrase, pale as shit. I'm not able to go into the sun. I go into the sun and I burn. It doesn't matter how much fucking sun cream I put on, I burn. I cannot be outside during the heat because I'm just not built for it. My granddad, however, he walks outside for 5 fucking seconds. 5 seconds, and he comes back in the colour of fucking mahogany.
That can't be
Where
true.
did those genes go?
5
Because
seconds.
I sure as hell didn't get them.
5 seconds.
It's hyperbole, Danny.
Are you swearing on a Bible that that's true?
Thing is, I love my family to bits. We're all incredibly close, and they mean the world to me. But fucking hell, did I get the rough end of the stick with all of this? I got none of the good ones. None of them. And it's bullshit. It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I wake my mum up during the night and scream at her because I'm small. I'm an idiot. I'm too fucking short.
It's just bullshit. It really
You're-
fucking is.
I got you.
Your inferior genes have cursed me again.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I'll be having a conversation with like my nan or something, and she'll bring up like something that she has. Like, I've got a lazy eye, and that comes from my nan. And I remember the first time that she ever brought it up in conversation. I was like, oh yeah, that's from my side of the family. I sat down. It was you. It's your fault. It's you. You're the one that made me like this.
That is like the best. I think that would be the best film ever to watch. Like, someone's born with like a lazy eye and they don't know who's giving it to them, and they search the world for the relative that
Fucking honestly,
gave it, and then they find them, and it was like, it was you. And then there's a fight to the death.
If you imagine a stick that is just coated with shit, and I'm talking all sorts of shit, I got the dirtiest end of it
Yeah.
in terms of genetics. I got the shittiest end of the stick,
Yep.
You poor thing.
and it really fucking bugs me. And you see these people who are like Amazonian warriors. They've got perfect skin, perfect hair. They're tall. They've got long legs. They've got no cellulite. And I'm looking at them thinking, you fucking bitch.
I mean, I walk strangely. I walk
Right.
as if I've got a limp.
You won't like you shit yourself.
Well, maybe I have, but
That's a secret for Danny to keep.
people tell me that. People say that they say, if you get a limp, are you alright? Have you hurt your leg? I'm like, no. You know what I'm talking about. You know the way I walk.
Yeah.
I can't see it. I can't ever see myself walking like that. But people say that I walk as if I've got a limp. Am I limping?
I don't think you're
Do I-
limping so much as carrying weight more on one side, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think like one leg is like a bit shorter than the other.
That'll be that then.
And like I was told that the only way to like really like fix it is to like break my hip and like
Jesus.
reset it.
I remember taking the piss out of you for years and years about the way you walked and ran, and then you actually pulled me aside one day and you were like, Lewis, like it's actually this thing with my hip, and so like they'd have to like break it and reset it, and I was like, oh my god, I am
terrible
so
person.
sorry.
Terrible
Oh my god, I had like no idea, but yes, I am a terrible person.
That's the thing.
What did you?
Go on.
What did you think it was? You think I was just putting it on?
Well, the thing was, I think I only noticed it sometimes, so I came to the conclusion you must just do it sometimes. So I was like, yeah, it's putting it on. But then, no, it turns out it's an actual thing.
I didn't even know I did it for like years, and then people kept asking me, and I was like, no, I don't have a limp. Why?
What? What's wrong with you?
Because you don't know that you're doing it, because you know you're not really aware of how you properly walk. But it's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but now I need to sort of be careful as to how I walk forever. If I'm filming something, it's like Danny, he's not got a limp in this scene. Oh, all right. I'll try and alter the way I've been walking my life.
I've been walking this way for 20 years, but I'll switch it up for you. Don't you worry.
The thing is, that just furthers my point, if anything. You get fucked over in terms of genetics, and then you spend your life having the piss taken out of you.
Yeah, that's the way of the world.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Anything that's out of the ordinary is slated, and greatly vilified. And
And
yeah.
on that happy note,
Yeah. Well,
I think that might be all of the rants that we've managed to plough our way through in this
yeah,
episode.
we've managed to we've got it done.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, and now I need to edit this fucker. Okay, so well, this has been a very special episode of Shouting Into the Void, and we couldn't have got here without all the people that listen to us
Yes.
and support us, so thank you very much.
Yes, thank you one and all. I do get the emails from our hosts, Podomatic, that say how many people have listened and where they're from and all this sort of stuff. And I do always think, oh, that's really cute. Every single week the email comes through, I'm like, oh, that's dead nice. But yes, thank you very much, one and all.
Definitely. Anyway, it's time for some shilling.
Woo, shilling.
Yeah. I'm on I'm on Instagram at O'Hiram. I'm on Facebook at Daniel K Actor. I'm on Twitter at Kerzo2000. What are you on, Lewis?
I'm on Instagram at Lewis_Brindley. I have a Twitter, which is at LewisBrindley4, and my Facebook page is Lewis Brindley.
Yes. What are you on, Chloe?
I'm on Instagram at number 12 Crochet Avenue. That's my little business. Apart from that, I don't really do much. I'll be quite a sad existence. So.
Yes, fair enough. We just want to thank all of our callers that joined us on this wonderful journey. Chloe Davison, Zachary, no, other way around. Maxim Gelmann, Grace McIntosh, and Zachary Sutcliffe, who are all on Instagram. So give them a search, give them a shout.
Yeah, they'll be tagged in our social media post for this episode, so you'll be able to skip on through, find them, and give them a cheeky follow.
Definitely. We are hosted by Podomatic. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We have a YouTube channel. We're on Deezer. We have a PayPal donate button. And we are on Patreon. And we'd like to thank our wonderful patrons. Chloe, Darius, Sophie, Peter, and Aditya. Thank you so much, guys. You're
you
absolute
make the show
stars.
possible. Thank you very much. You're all good eggs.
Definitely. We're also partnered with a wonderful company called Strudel Ltd. You heard from Maxim Gelmann, who is the owner and creator of Strudel Ltd. And if everything goes well, you should be hearing an advert for that. No!
Hey Dan, do you ever drink things?
No, actually, I don't.
Right, well that's messed the ad up then, hasn't it? Oh, good grief. Well, if you're not a massive weirdo, then you might like to drink things from time to time, and sometimes you might even like to use a straw.
Yeah, and there are lots of options available. I've got a metal one, and they come in plastic.
Bad for the environment.
Or paper.
Falls apart immediately.
Yep, which is why strudels are out there. Strudels are straws made out of pasta, and straight away both of those problems Lewis just said are solved. The pasta will decompose in a day after you throw it away, and they'll stay strong in your drink for at least an hour.
Exactly, what's not to love? Plus they're super convenient. Having a couple of them in the cupboard will mean you don't have to keep cleaning a metal straw every time you do the dishes.
Indeed it will. Check them out today at strudels.co.uk. You will not regret it. Amazing. Amazing.
You know, I've heard that advert was actually directed by Ripley Scott.
Of course it was. And it's won 3 Oscars, an Emmy, and the Bill Jaffrey talent show.
Yes. I have no trouble believing it's won all of those things.
Yeah, definitely. We also have merch. We have merchandise. We sell cups, we sell mugs, we sell tote bags, we sell jumpers, we sell t-shirts over on Teespring and Redbubble.
There's buckets of stuff out there. It'll be in the description, in our social media. It's everywhere. Go and take a look.
Get your arse over there. Get a look-see. Well, that's us. That's episode 40.
That is episode 40. 40 episodes. How crazy is that?
I think we should give ourselves a round of applause for getting here, guys.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. We made it.
That's going to make the sync a bit of a nightmare. Which one of these 300 claps is the right clap? Shit!
You know me, I like making it harder for myself. Well, Lewis, what are we doing next week?
I'm not sure, Danny. Why don't you remind me?
We are doing... drum roll. Fuck the sync up. Okay. We are doing Black Mirror.
Ooh.
Which is yeah. Wow, that was really atmospheric. Which is a great television show. We're not going to do every episode. We're just going to pick our favourite episode and review them. But it's a good show.
It is indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, that's us.
Indeed, it is us. Thank you very much for listening or watching or doing whatever you've done. We thank you for sticking around for as many episodes as you have, whether it's just this one or whether it's all 40. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again in another 40 episodes.
Yes. Well, we will hear you, smell you, lick you, punch you in the face next time.
Yes.
On Shouting into the Void Radio.
Bullshit FM.
Electric Boogaloo.
Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.